So, David, do you know what you call that sort of singing in Wales?
Tell me.
Canu bendigedig. Beautiful singing. I thought so anyway.
I agree with you. I think from the very beginning, the little harmonic bed that was laid for the soloist was beautiful. The soloist was great because when singing in a choir, the temptation is to sound very choral. She actually sounded very natural. There's a saying that music, however well accomplished, must first touch the soul, and that performance did. If I wasn't judging you, I would have wanted to close my eyes and just listen, because sonically it was a feast. When you went into Welsh and you did the harmonies, you changed the harmonic structure, and it was great.
Mylene, it's one of my favourite hymns. Did they do it justice?
They know they did it justice. I would have liked to have seen even more evocative pictures when it came to the storytelling, the words. They're such evocative words. However, when you went into Welsh, it was so exciting. A real wall of sound just hit the audience, and I just thought it was spectacular.
Thank you. Susie, what did you make of it?
Well, the first thing that struck me is this is a choir that really does sing from the heart. And it's an amazing sound. I mean, when the unison voices came in on the second verse, it was breathtaking. When you're powering through the lines, which gives this extraordinary effect, you can compromise intonation. And what I would say is that to really get that chording and the lines in perfect tuning, in perfect intonation, will take it to another level again. But altogether, wonderful performance.
Thank you, judges, and thank you, Ysgol Ystrad.
Comments from the judges were very good. They were mostly positive. There were a couple of things we could have done better. As soon as we hit the Welsh section, it just absolutely just bang. It was perfect. I'm so happy.
Hopefully we've done enough to get through to the final, and if we get there, then we'll see how it goes from there.
Our next choir are new to the competition, hailing from southwest England. It's Millfield School from Somerset.
Praise my soul, the King of heaven, to his feet your...
We've travelled a long way to be here. I think we're delighted to be involved. We're delighted to be taking part. We want to give of our best, do our absolute best, and that's all we can hope for today.
We've just done a practice, and obviously it's gone well, so yeah. Feeling more confident than I was when I woke up this morning.
All of the choirs here have very, very good reputations. They're good enough to get to the semi-finals, so they're certainly good enough to win.
We're probably a little bit nervous about singing in a big venue that has a proper stage, all the lights, all the cameras. It's just a completely new experience that none of us are really used to.
Praise my soul, the King of heaven, to his feet your tribute bring, ransomed, healed, restored, forgiven, who like me his praise should sing. Praise him, praise him, praise him, praise him, praise the everlasting King. Praise him for his grace and favor to our fathers in distress. Praise him still the same forever, slow to chide and swift to bless. Praise him, praise him, praise him, praise him, glorious in his faithfulness. Angels help us to adore him. You behold him face to face. Sun and moon bow down before him. Dwellers all in time and space. Praise him, praise him, praise him, praise him. Praise with us the God of grace.
Big thank you to Millfield, ladies and gentlemen. So, Mylene, a very familiar hymn.
Yes.
Did it hit the mark for you?
One thing with this hymn is the fact that people love it for its simplicity. However, because of its simplicity and its repetitive nature, you have to find different ways to make it expressive just to keep it interesting for the audience. When you did come in and give more variation to the melody, I thought it was beautiful.
Thank you. Susie, have they done enough to get through to the final, do you think?
Well, the first thing I'd like to say is well done, lads. You did a great job, really. Lovely, lovely singing. If I had to be picky, the oo vowel just has a slight colour which disrupts the line. So make sure it's a proper oo without any diphthong in it. And I think that could transform the line.
David?
Yes. I did like the sound. I liked the uniformity of the sound. I liked the fact that when you sung together, your diction was brilliant. You were absolutely moving as one. I would have liked possibly a little more. There were hints in verse 2, particularly when the boys came in and the harmony split, of what was there, of the capacity that you have to be a little more exciting. What I'm saying is I would have liked to hear more, and that can only be a good thing, because quite often when you hear a choir, you're glad you're not hearing anymore.
Thank you, judges. Thank you, Millfield.
Oh, it was great. It was so exciting. Everything seemed so much more real on stage.
The most exhausting 2.5 minutes of my life so far, I think.
Well done. Fantastic. Well, have you heard your favourite hymn yet, or maybe your favourite choir? Well, hold on. There are more hymns and more wonderful choirs to come. By the way, if you do have a favourite hymn, we're running a vote to find the UK's top 10. So if you'd like to register your vote, then go onto our website, bbc.co.uk/Songs of Praise. And you never know, your favourite hymn could be performed at this year's Big Sing in London. Can't be bad. Now, our next choir are ready. It's their second time in the competition. It's Tunbridge Grammar School from Kent.
It's really great to be here. Liverpool's an amazing city and it's obviously a great venue.
The hymn Just As I Am is one of my favourites. It was my mother's favourite.
It's about how God will accept you into heaven no matter what you've done.
I think a good school choir, it's not always about technique. You need to have a good, solid technique, but it's about making the words live in your faces so you communicate with people.
It's an honour to be singing with great choirs because that makes me think that obviously our choir could be as good as that. So it's an inspiration to try and do our very best.
Tunbridge Grammar School, everybody! Susie.
There was a magical, treacly quality to the sound. It's really beautiful. It's interesting that this rise from the B to the E on of God, it's good when you're in unison, you produce it well, but you lose that support a little bit when it's in parts. And lastly, on a very positive note, I thought you had wonderful dynamic control, and it really was spine-tingling in places.
Thank you. David, what do you make of it?
I agree with a lot of what Susie said, actually. I think there is a sound that you have that is absolutely yours. We haven't yet heard that in the competition. On the other side, when you were singing strongly on that last verse, it felt as though there was a little bit of a looseness that wasn't there earlier on. And finally, your last come, on Lamb of God I Come, was a thing of beauty.
Yeah.
Mylene, what did you make of it?
I would first like to say I want to be in this choir for the accessories alone. Do you get those red tights? They just hand them out. They're fabulous. I love the control that this choir has. The diction is perfectly placed. And yet it doesn't feel like the technicalities of how this choir work are taking away the personality of it, because you have oodles of personality, so it's a lovely thing to see. What I did love as well, the ending, I thought it was magical. The hum just had everybody on the edge of their seat, waiting to applaud, waiting to thank you, but also not wanting it to end, so congratulations.
Thank you very much, judges, and thank you, Tunbridge Grammar School.
It was a live performance and we did the best that we could do, and I'm really proud with what we've done.
For me, the high point was that really controlled, quiet singing just at the end of the last verse, and they really pulled it off today.
I thought the judges' comments were going to be a lot harsher, but they were actually really uplifting and good to hear.
Two choirs left to sing, and the tension is definitely mounting in the hall. Our next choir should be able to handle it. They were in the final 2 years ago. It's the High School of Glasgow.
Well, we've made it through to the finals before, so that may give us an edge. I think we've got a really good choir this year, and everyone's so accomplished, and it's just a great group to be in.
It's a very beautiful tune. It's very well written, and the harmonies are well written, so the lines are all cohesive.
I'm going to open the hymn with my solo, which is really quite daunting.
I think she'll probably be a bit nervous because there's a lot of pressure on her, but I'm sure that she'll rise to the challenge.
In competitions, you can't be trying to judge what the judges will want. You've just got to give your best and hope that the judges like it.